when the whistle go. Get low when the whistle go.
Hello, I'm Max and I'm supposed to be talking about snowboarding, and that's what I'm gonna do. For normal snowboarding people, there's two ways that you can ride a snowboard. You can either ride regular or goofy. Goofy is when you have your right foot forward, left foot back. Regular is when you have your left foot forward and right foot back. It depends on if you kick a ball with the right foot, you're normally regular. If you kick the ball with the left foot, then you normally goofy. Having a board like this, normally you have bindings like this. Some people tend to put the first one on before the second one, but for me, when I'm putting my board on like this, I put the big one on first, but I don't tighten it too much, and then I move my foot around into the perfect place. Then I put my second one on, like so, and then I tighten my second one, and I tighten that one. When you're snowboarding, when you go into the ski lifts, normally you have this down on the ski lifts, and there's black things on it. Those are grips, and getting down to the ski lift, you don't use both feet, but you can, but you're supposed to take off your binding each time. These are grips your foot doesn't just slide off, but most people tend to have them, but some people don't. With the board, if you look closely, the first binding is kind of angled. It's 15 degrees. Your front binding has to be 15 degrees, and your back binding has to be 0 degrees. But some people use 0 and 0, but not many people do. The normal way that people normally do is 15 and 0. When you get off the lift, just try and go straight on the board and just have it like that. Same with on my left foot. I do the back first, but not too tight. Then I do my second one until it feels tight. Then I do my first one again, and then this one will get a bit looser. And then when you're snowboarding down the mountain, you're supposed to bend your knees so you don't just fall over because you're standing up straight like that. Because it's just, if you have like kind of doing that, it'll make it so you can go over bumps easier. Some beginners tend to normally lean back or lean too far forward. And if you do that and try and turn, if you go like this, you're just going to try and turn like this and wave your arms around, and you're going to fall over and go either forward or backward. When you lean too far forward, you're just going to go forward, over the board. Going down the mountain, you can go both ways. So you can go and stop like this, go on an angle like this, and it'll slow you down if you're going on a mountain. But you can do this as well if you're going, so you turn around and around, but when you go backwards, you hold it up like this, and you hold it so you it's like kind of the thing that I put on. I don't really slide on this carpet. Having it like this, you normally, when I said people lean back, some people lean forward. It's good to like be kind of centered, but normally you can lean forward like, so if I'm centered, if I lean back I'm gonna fall. If I lean too far forward I'm gonna fall. If I lean just a little bit forward then I'm okay. Being centered, it's fine, doesn't really change anything. Taking off your bindings, you always take off your back foot first, because taking off your front foot means you got your back foot randomly and that's not your strong foot or strong leg, and it won't help as much. And then you put this down, you put all your binding pieces, depends if you're leaving, then I normally do this if I'm leaving, and put the second one on like this. Doesn't really matter which way you put it on at the end, but when you're actually gonna go snowboarding, I normally do the front one first. Then you take your other foot off, and always be holding your board, even if you're not on a hill, because it could still slide. Doesn't really matter. On the lifts, you have to put this forward or down, and doesn't really matter which way you do it. And when you're holding it, if you're holding it like this, without any gloves, there's a chance that you can cut yourself because they're supposed to be sharp around the edges, and it's about every like 5 times or 3 times that you go, you have to wax your board. Like I got a bit too much wax up here, and there's little parts that are like over here. Like you can see, David, can you come here? It's like peeling off, that's why you have to re-wax it, but you have to take all the wax off first, then it'll be fine. Then you just put it back in the case and you can just walk around really with it. That's probably all. Thank you. The history of snowboarding is the snowboard was first made in 1965 by a man called Sherman Poppin. He was just like being a regular dad. He was just trying to invent a toy for his daughter, and he got 2 skis and tied them together. That was the first snowboard, even though it was looking straight forward. But then after that, he thought of putting it on an angle, and right now, it's like how it is right now. Normally you would have the front foot with 15 degrees and the back foot 0 degrees. There's some other things like regular and goofy. Goofy's right foot forward, left foot back, and regular's left foot forward, right foot back. There's lots of other parts to this, and I think there's some like extra things that you have to know. Don't do your bindings opposite way. So if you're regular, don't put your bindings on right foot, because don't put your binding on the back one first, put it on the front one. Have your bindings tight always, even if it feels weird, it'll get better. Have your bindings 15 degrees on the front and 0 degrees on the back. Put your position of the bindings, so if you feel like you're left-footed, then you'd be goofy. If you feel like you're right-footed, then you'd be regular, because it's whatever foot you usually use to kick a soccer ball or kind of that thing. It would be either regular or goofy. With using the right foot would be regular, and the goofy would be left foot. There's lots of different things about this, like if you don't have it tight enough, it can always stuff up the whole entire thing, and that gets annoying. And thank you. There's a video before. Please watch it.